I could hear your audio right now, but I think that really adds to the charm. Here we
Oh,
go,
absolutely.
boys. And the best part about this is she said peaches. Y'all got some
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty great. So right now the dog can't hear us, but now he can because he's not hungry. So you see this
Y'all got
that means it's here.
Oh, wonderful.
It's pretty good. So here we go again. Third time. Do you like your peaches?
Y'all got some
Oh shit.
No,
No, it's not.
Hate it.
peaches, watermelon.
When were you starting?
Y'all got
So welcome to the vlog. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
And we're done. Okay.
Wow.
Welcome. Vin Nguyen to episode 4 of whatever this is. So let me see if I should press go live. I did press go live. I should press go live. Okay, all right, there we go.
Live.
Wow, we're live.
Wow.
Wow. So, Dominic, do
Yeah.
you know what we're doing this episode?
What are we doing this episode, Kevin?
Remember how last episode I was like, man, we should really get stuff for this episode?
Sure.
Remember how I assigned you homework for this episode?
Yeah, I did the homework.
You actually did the homework. Okay, good. Because I was sort of afraid there because I sort of did the homework. I didn't really do the homework. I thought I'd just wing it, but I have a really good idea.
I mean, I spent like 10 minutes doing the homework, so it's not going to be good. But
Okay, that's pretty bad. I spent more than 10 minutes thinking about the homework. But like, did you actually put pen to paper and do the homework, or?
Yeah, I have a Word document, bro.
Oh, okay. You want to just send it over Discord, and then I could like read it?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Or you could read it. You could read it, and I'll have it on the screen. You know?
Sure.
Okay. So, first item number 1, feels like a corporate meeting, is my mom's here
This is
reading
serious.
cookbooks.
Nice.
Yeah. And before the show started, you could have heard the elusive Kevin's mother talking to me about how she did not consent, in Mandarin nonetheless, to be on camera. So
True.
there she goes again.
这是我的隐私，
对，这是
没有
你的隐私。
经过我的允许就把我介绍。
没事，你想不想过来给他们说一声？我们现在正在拍了。
因为我没有整理好自己，见人家很不礼貌。
没事，你可以过来礼貌一下。
No，
No,
我
okay.
不会做这种事情。
Alright, so
我这
apparently
种
you
有
two
修
have a
养的人
lady.
是不会这样。
She's in her like pajamas right now, so she's like, no, I don't want to.
Nice.
She's saying I'm gay. So cool. Alright, let's see what we have here.
你这样
Enjoy
是
it.
想让我走是吗？
Enjoy
是
it.
这种方法，对吗？
I did the
其实
homework,
我
okay?
这有点像有点像一个笑话一样，因为要是你在那里，
把我弄走是吧？
不，你可以不走，其实你可以在这里坐的，你可以在这说话，只是我们这里更多 content，it's more content for us。因为我这东西我需要弄1个半小时，所以 Look, I gotta fill up 1.5 hours of content. It's better if you stay.
It's interesting.
对，所以就说我们需要弄1个半小时嘛，所以要是你在这里待的，吗？ Oh yeah, don't worry. 那东西我6点半去看一下。Okay, so yeah, so what were you doing? Oh yes, so I was thinking about restructuring everything a little bit, so that.
Okay.
Do you have a webcam, Dominic? I'm hungry.
I don't want to use my webcam.
That's okay. Don't worry. But I was thinking about having like, you know how those podcasts they have like a screen here and like a screen here, and then they have like the name of their podcast or whatever, right? And it's like, look, this is Kev, and this is Dominic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe we create one or something.
Yeah, but couldn't we just like it doesn't have to be a webcam. I don't want to use my webcam, but couldn't it just be like the Discord icon? Maybe I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah. So we could totally draw you as someone. We could draw you as like this guy. I'll give you boobs. Ooh,
Ooh,
pecs. Yeah,
ooh. I don't see
like
what you're
tic tac
drawing, but I'm
toe.
sure it's good.
Wait, what? You don't see which one?
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. There we
That's
go.
pretty
Give
good.
you some hair. Takes forever to draw hair like that, but yeah, we could do that, right?
Yeah.
Now it'll just be an X. So you want to do that first, or do you want to do the other thing first? The reading.
The reading.
Yeah.
I guess we can do this first. I don't know.
Okay.
This doesn't seem like it'll take too long.
Like I was. Okay, I actually didn't come up with a story. I came up with like a universe or thing. Um, okay, so we'll do this first. We'll do this first, and while we do this, I'll mull it over in my head a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay, so pretty much, I'm not too sure exactly what the dimensions are, but we want to have a square, right?
Sure.
So how do we? What border do you want? We'll work our way in, right?
It
Like
doesn't matter. A
really,
solid border, I guess.
a
Keep
solid
it simple.
border.
Yeah, I guess if it's easier. I don't know.
Okay, sure. We'll do a solid border. Okay, sure. What color? You want to do a gradient? Let's do a gradient.
Sure.
This is our project, you see.
Yes.
No, that gradient's not good. Let's change the second color to something a bit more dark. Maybe this. I really like this. This is called Combat Gray or Combat Olive or whatever, right?
Sure.
I like.
I don't know.
It's like a mixture of like gray and like green. It's like a green grayish sort of color, you know?
Yeah.
I really like it. Anyways, so that could be your border. Okay.
Hmm.
And okay, what else do we have? Let's make a rectangle here. All right. Okay, that's not right. Uh let's make a rectangle here. Rectangle should be 16 by 19, right? So how many pixels do we want the border to be? Like how many pixels big?
Bro, I don't know. I don't know. What do you mean?
Like
Like, does it matter?
um yeah. Like how thick do you want the border to be?
Oh, how thick do I want the border?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't have to be too thick.
Doesn't have to be too, okay. Like how
Just,
many pixels?
hmm.
Do you want like a thingamadoober? Okay, so this is how do I do this again? So this is 1920 by 1080, right? So if we do an 80 pixel one, it should be 1920 minus 80, 1840 by 1000. Okay, so that just gave me another rectangle for some fucking reason. Here we go.
Nice, another rectangle.
Yeah, so this is the border. Does that look good?
Like, are you saying like the border? So the border is the blue stuff in the back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That looks
That's
fine.
fine. That looks fine. Okay, cool.
That looks
Um,
yeah.
cool. So on top of that, what are we gonna have inside, Dominic?
We could just can't we just use like our Discord images? That seems fine.
No, but like we have to have like a box. So we'll write Untitled, right?
Yeah,
Was it .mp4 or mp3? This is how much we care.
we care a lot, bro. I
Yeah.
think it was .mp3.
Okay, Untitled parentheses
Hold
1
on.
dot mp3.
I'll check. I'll check.
Okay,
Where's your YouTube channel?
where is it? I have it
Trying to,
as dot mp4.
what is it?
Wait, let me just check the intro thing. The intro's never
Yeah, I was
wrong.
gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
It's
apples,
MP3.
peaches,
MP3.
watermelon,
Okay.
peaches. Y'all got something, so we gotta eat 'em.
yeah, buddy.
MP3.
Here we go.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Wow. Gorgeous.
Gorgeous indeed.
Yes, sir.
I just realized I probably shouldn't turn your volume all the way up.
That's fine. That's fine. You know.
Here,
Not a big
say
deal.
something big, like big.
Big.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Okay, so over here, then we have Untitled 1.mp3. Do we just want like two separate boxes for this, or
Yeah. Sure.
okay? And then
I
how do
think
you want
that'll
your
be.
name to be written?
Oh, my name to revert to just all caps Dom. There you go.
Like this, or do you want like a font,
No, just blocky letters. Yeah, that's
like
good. That's
impact?
good.
Do you want impact?
No, the way you wrote it is fine.
I think you want impact, Dom. Yeah. See? Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess that's okay.
Yeah. Impact.
I like how each episode of our podcast is us building something related to the podcast for the first like 20 minutes.
Yeah, right? I think
It's
that's a
really,
good
yeah.
shows us how
Well,
much we actually care and prepare for the podcast.
absolutely. Absolutely.
hmm
It's important, It gives that experience to the viewer,
Yeah, exactly. You're with us
You're
100% of the
with us
way.
on this journey.
You're with
Enjoy.
us, Vin, while we make it big in Bollywood.
Yes, sir.
I'll write mine super curt. No, that's for gay people.
Sure.
Kevin Dom. Okay. Do you want to be on the right or do you want to be on the left?
It's fine the way it is. I'll be on the right, I guess.
Okay, all right. And then we'll have two. Nope, that's not what we'll have. We'll have two boxes here. So I'm not too sure exactly what. Let's make it like 660 maybe. Is that divisible by 16? I don't know.
Sure.
Sure. It doesn't really matter, right? Like,
I don't think
you know
it
what?
matters.
This is fine. This is fine. We'll have this. I'll put this on as we start talking about other stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Good. Good to know. Podcast frame, I guess. Okay. So that's that.
Yeah.
So Dominic, I
Yeah.
thought that'd take a lot longer. It only took 15 minutes, and I'm pretty sure 5 of it was me talking to my mom.
We
So
could stall for time if you don't want to do the stories right away. We could. How was your week, Kevin?
oh yeah, I totally forgot we could do that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a choice. That's an option we have. My week
Yes,
was
sir.
okay. I went to a couple of barbecues, you know. I think Vin,
Nice.
our target audience, went to one of them as well. There's actually a pretty saucy tale from one of our barbecues. Okay, I'm going to
Wow.
tell it now.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So, we had to go pick up a friend of ours named Cage.
Yeah.
And, Vin and I, because at the barbecue, no one knew who Vin was, or they knew of Vin, but no one actually met him before, right? So then
Okay.
to everyone else, I just had to like introduce Vin to everyone, right? But we had to go pick up a friend named Cage, and Cage, I guess he knew of Vin, but he never actually met Vin, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then we decided since we're the only two in the car, we'd fuck with Cage a little bit, right? So then
Yeah.
we decided on the story that Vin is my cousin from China, and I'm pretty much looking after him for now, right? So then we had like a rough idea. We went in, improv a bunch of shit. So when Cage came in, um, it was pretty much just hey, how's it going? You know, the good old stuff. And then um, this is my friend from China. This is my cousin from China, right? And then I have to make it interesting somehow. It's like, so he doesn't actually speak English, right? But the interesting thing is he learned English in China, but since everything in China had its thick Chinese accent, you can only understand English if you speak to him in a very thick Chinese accent, right? And then of course we did a couple trial runs, and then I had to translate some stuff. So when I spoke to him in Mandarin, he would speak back to me in Vietnamese, right? Because he spoke Vietnamese. Not that it mattered for Cage. So pretty much how it went was Cage. So we got Cage and everything on there, and well, that's not what I meant to do. And Cage, pretty much just we gotta make you a picture here, Dominic. One sec. And Cage was just like, wow, that's really interesting. It's like, so, how long is he here for and all that stuff? And I'm like, fucking too long, dude. He's here for too fucking long. I have to take care of his ass, and I just basically start cussing Vin out in English, right? And then I was like,
Yeah.
it's freaking hilarious. He doesn't understand a thing we say. And then I switched back into Chinese, like, you are stupid! You are stupid, man! And then of course Cage, I know he was on a keto diet, right? So he was really trying to preach that initially. I'm like, oh yeah, my cousin has irritable bowel syndrome, so he literally just shits whenever, right? It's really horrible taking care of him because like the guy just won't stop shitting, right? And of course, Cage took that seriously. Oh no, but hey, did you know that if you eat less plants and you eat more meat, you could actually cure that a little bit. I'm like, that would work, except he's also like a hardline Buddhist, so he can't eat meat at all. And yeah, so I shut that down pretty well, I think, in my own terms. But yeah, so after that, what he did was, let me just bring this up real quick. What he did was I tried to get him to speak in a really horrible Chinese accent. I tried to goad him into it. He wouldn't budge.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on him.
That's
Good
fair.
on him. Throughout the whole car ride, I was uncomfortable because I was saying some pretty nasty stuff. So nasty it made myself uncomfortable. So you know how bad it must have been, right? Um, and yeah, and Cage was like, Jesus Christ, you treat your cousin like that. And I had Vin try to GPS me back to Leo's place, and Cage was like, you're letting a man who doesn't speak English try to use Google Maps to get you back? Like, yeah, man. It's like he doesn't speak English, but if you just like shout at him enough, he probably understands. uh, so yeah, after we got back, we let him off the hook. We're like, yeah, he's actually another good friend of mine. No, he's not my cousin. Yeah, and that was fun. My
That's
Buddhist cousin
that's
with
weird.
irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah,
That's a
everyone
good bit.
everyone had a
That's a
laugh.
good. Yeah, man. That's really fucking funny.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. It was nice.
Yeah, man.
So how was your week?
It was pretty okay. Not too much happened. I watched The Matrix 4.
Hmm.
Fun fact: that movie sucks.
Yeah, I
Oh, that's
saw that
nice.
clip Adam posted in Discord,
I
and
think I posted that. But
Okay,
yeah,
yeah. So yeah, I must have like replied to her or something.
yeah, you did.
Yeah. So that part, I didn't watch all of it. I'll be honest, but the part where Trinity was her name, I think, pulls up on the
Yeah.
bike, and like, get on, Neo, right? The voice delivery sounded so inconsequential. It
Oh
sounded
yeah.
like, yeah, it's like, you pull up, you fucking like decapitate three people. Get on, Neo. You
Like,
know?
the whole movie was so fucking ass. It was they basically made like the first movie again, except way worse by because they had flashbacks and the flashbacks were scenes from the old movies, and that was the first half of the movie.
Matrix a
The
flashback.
yeah, and then the story was the exact same as the first movie. And it was so fucking boring. And there was only like two good scenes, and one of the good scenes was the one I posted where they don't show it in the clip I post on Discord. But what it happens is like they're on the bicycle, right? And the villain activates like their swarm power, which means that the anyone who's in the Matrix or human gets taken over and they get mind controlled, and they'll do what the robots want them to do. So when you activate Swarm, it cuts to a man and his wife sleeping in the bed. The guy opens his eyes, bolts out the window, jumps up the fucking window, head dives first right into the ground. And the next scene is a bunch of people committing suicide because they're trying to crash into Trinity and Neo. And it's so fucking stupid. That was the only good scene in that fucking movie.
Well,
Yeah.
that sounds like it wasn't Departed. What was that one? Where it's like the disease makes you kill yourself or something?
Oh, there's quite a bit of those.
Oh yeah, there is. It's
There's
it's
like,
it's the one with Mark
well,
Wahlberg.
they're like the fucking
The Happening?
the happening. Yeah, the Shyamalan movie, right?
Yeah. That
Yeah,
one.
of the trees.
Yeah. The
Yeah, yeah.
Happening, right? Was it called The Happening or The Event or something? It's like,
I think the happening sounds right.
yeah, The Happening.
I
Yeah.
think that sounds
And
right.
then at the end,
Yeah,
of course, like all zombie films, it goes into Paris for some reason. You know.
yeah. That movie was
Okay.
terrible.
Yeah.
I also watched another anime called it was an isekai, and it was called I'm living in a dating sim, and you know I wasn't expecting much, but it was okay. It was pretty okay.
Yeah.
Because the protagonist, so the main plot is the protagonist played the dating sim game, whatever, for his sister to get some rewards for it or whatever. So he gets 100% completion, like playing it 4 days in a row. He falls down some stairs and dies, and then for some reason he gets transported into the world of the dating sim. And what's great is because the protagonist knows fucking everything, he just be a huge scumbag and taking advantage of everything because he just knows it. So it's pretty entertaining. Um, it's still not good. I wouldn't say it's good, but it was like it was better than I expected. So yeah, I think
Reminds me
that's
of
my week.
have you ever heard of that anime called Do You Love Your Mother and Her Two-Hit Multi-Target Attacks?
Yeah, I know the name. I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think it's pretty funny. Um
Yeah,
yeah, it sort of reminds me of that for some reason.
yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of East Kyle's are the dumbest names ever.
Yeah.
My names are the dumbest names ever.
Yeah, like ReZero, like going to where? Zero. Haha.
I finished watching ReZero, and that shit was boring. Like, it wasn't bad. Like, it was better than season one, but it was fucking boring. I didn't give a
Yeah.
shit what was happening. It was just boring.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we went through our weeks, item number 3, I think this
Yes,
will take
sir.
up most of our time here. Is so for the viewers who don't know, last week after we stopped recording and streaming and shit, we're like, Dominic, we gotta do something, man. We gotta friggin' like make the podcast interesting somehow, you know? Like we're gonna lose our all one viewer if we keep this shit up. And we're like, you know what? Let's make our own fanfics. Let's make our own world that that just happens, and then what we'll do afterwards, after we describe our world and stuff, we'll pick apart the parts of our
Oh,
world, and we'll try to like destroy each other's worlds.
oh, I
What,
I
you
may
didn't
have
know about the second part?
I may have misunderstood the homework. I just wrote a short story, bro.
No
I didn't make
worries.
any.
We'll pick it apart. I'll pick it
That's fine.
apart.
It's very
I'll
bad.
be a complete asshole about it. Okay.
It's very shit. So I don't mind. It took like 15 minutes to do.
Perfect. You
I
actually wrote a
don't
lot
care.
for like 10 minutes. Okay. I think it's only fair that you get to read your own masterpiece.
Excellent.
Okay. If you need me to
Excellent.
read anything, voice anything, let me know. Okay.
I don't think so. I mean,
Perfect.
there is like 2 dialogue things, but I could do
Yeah, there's only like 2 lines.
them. Yeah.
Okay,
The rest
so
is
would you like to the stage is yours, Dominic. Go ahead.
the stage is mine. All right. All right. Um,
So tell him the title and stuff as well.
I want to tell the title. The title's the spoiler.
Oh, okay,
No, it's okay.
whatever.
No,
You
it's
know
okay.
what? You know what? Stage is yours. I'll shut up.
It's okay. It's okay. Nah, yeah. This is called Toxic Love. Enjoy. Uh, um, do I want to do a voice? I probably should do a voice, but I don't want to do a voice. Friend, art thou prepared to test thine purest love? The figure said, booming at me. Frankly, I don't know. I don't know what this being is. They're draped in a large black overcoat with hearts with pink outlines and black centers covering it, and a black skirt gown with red trimmings. They appear to be wearing large steel-toed shoes, though these shoes must have been black at some point, as it appears that dark brown rust now covers them. Their hands are long, gangly, and misshapen, covered in burns to the bone. However, what strikes me as odd about this being is they don't have a face. Their head is a silver dome with a mouth that covers half their face. Perhaps I should be more concerned about such a particular being that has been telling me about their grandiose plan or what have you. I just called him the doctor. My only concern is the creature that is chained and bound to the altar. At some point, I think we were in love. Someone who I shared all my passions and weaknesses with, someone who probably meant everything to me. A person I could not see myself living without. How many good years we must have had for it to last so long, this wonderful lie. But that was when I started to see them change for what they were. It was faint at first, so very faint, just a slight look in the eye that spoke the truth, a brightness that was beginning to dim. That was when the doctor appeared. I wanted to say they made a grand entrance, but honestly, one day the doctor just appeared before me, smiling their cool smile. The doctor told me that if my love was pure, I would be able to see my love for what they were, and in that moment we would have a pure eternal love. I ignored the doctor at first, but my loving partner had begun to change. Their skin had turned to a dark green color with large, shiny scales, and their teeth growing larger and sharper. 3 heads took the place of where one was before, and they didn't have arms anymore, just bat like wings. Instead of legs, they had 2 snake tails. I finally saw them for the monster they were. That was when the doctor oh shit. That was when the doctor said we were ready for this ritual to achieve eternal love. The doctor hands me a large butcher knife. I think the doctor was talking to me this entire time. Probably expects something of me regarding the ritual, but I know what needed to be done the second we start this ritual. I stab the butcher knife into the creature's body. It is thrashing and screeching, but I am not done this operation. I slash the knife once more, breaking the rib cage. I plunge my hands into the chest, ripping apart their lungs and throwing them to the floor. I need to reach my prize. I take the knife and begin to cut the web of lies that surrounded my prize. I have the prize in my hands, a dark, burned, and rotted thing. You could hardly think it was a heart at some point. The doctor stares at me unexpectedly. They have this slight smile the whole time, but they have been silent this whole time with a large grin. But I know what to do. I consume my prize, finally getting to experience what this love of ours was truly like. But I can't swallow it. It won't go down. Why won't it go down? It's stuck. It's stuck. It's stuck. It's stuck. The worthless prize begins to bleed heavily, filling my throat with its poison. Ah, such a shame, is it not? I thought you possessed a true love. one that would help you achieve everlasting happiness. Too bad, too bad, too bad. You didn't even pay attention to my explanation, did you? The steps out of order. Such toxic, 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 toxic love. The doctor begins to cackle and looks like he's waiting for something. I crash into the floor, the red poison of my prize filling my throat, coming out my eyes, my ears. What a shame, such toxic, toxic love. The end. Did you like it? I liked it.
You actually sounded like Tom for a second there. You know, when we're playing D&D.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. So.
All right.
Okay, so wait, what did you do? Did you like eat her?
What?
Yeah.
Basically, the guy. It's unclear if the guy is going crazy. Like, there's two ways you can view the story. I spent 10 minutes thinking about this. I was like, oh, okay. Either the guy is like thinks that like, his partner is like a scumbag, so he killed her and ate her heart and he's going crazy, or like this guy is actually real, this doctor guy, and then he's made the guy go crazy. So that's the story.
So why is it called Toxic Love?
Because at the end, because it was supposed to be like the heart was supposed to be like, if you ate the heart, you would gain like eternal life and happiness, but it was like a black heart, so it killed him. So it wasn't real love, bro.
But wasn't it like Toxic Heart?
What, bro? I didn't think about this too much.
Because like love is something else. Love is a feeling, isn't it? It's not like.
Yeah, I guess, but it sounds better.
Okay, so why did this doctor do this? What's the doctor's motive?
Well, because the doctor's like this unnatural being, right? He doesn't. It's not a human. It's like a monster.
Okay, but
right?
Monsters also have motives. Like, was he getting paid by like Trudeau?
It's unclear.
Okay.
It's unclear.
So
I did have a thing in mind, but maybe I'll bring the doctor might come back later for if we do this again.
Okay.
Let's just say he wants the hearts. He wants the hearts, bro.
Okay, so what about the how did he get here? Where did he go? How did Cotton Eye Joe get bound and chained to the altar?
It's unclear.
It's unclear. Okay.
It's unclear. Like I said, I did not spend much time. Imagine it's okay. A better way, just imagine it's like a scene from something, right? This is just like this is happening. I didn't.
You didn't think about it too much.
I didn't think about it too much. I had a scene in mind. I was like, I'm gonna make that scene. This is that scene.
So how do you know?
We should have explained like what a bit better how that person got chained.
So in the thing, but I can't swallow it. It won't go down. Why won't it go down? Stuck. Right?
Yeah.
Why won't it go?
Stuck in his throat, bro.
But why? Didn't he like chew it? Or is this more of a was it supposed to get stuck, or was it supposed to go down but then it got stuck?
It was supposed to go down, but it got stuck in his throat.
Okay, but originally it was supposed to go down.
Yes, I guess.
Okay. All right.
His idea was to eat the heart, but he couldn't eat the heart.
Okay, because over here it says, such a shame is it not that you possess a true love, one that would help you achieve everlasting happiness. So to me, that sounds like the game was rigged from the start, where it's like, it sounds like it wasn't supposed to go down anyways, the heart.
I mean, yeah, the doctor is like pretty fucking evil. He knew.
But why is he evil? Like, he didn't do anything bad. Like, all he did was... Sorry, go ahead.
I'll do my best to explain it. I guess the doc is like a spooky monster, like a ethereal being who wants to fuck with people, right?
Sure.
So he went to like this couple, and he's like, and he randomly shows up and is like, hey, your partner, they're kind of sus. You should like, what if you know if you see them for what they really are, I'll make sure that that you experience true happiness with them. And the guy's like, no, that's you're cracked, bro. I'm not gonna do that. And then and he's like, oh, but I am starting to see things, and it's unclear if it's it's if it's because the doctor said something that this guy is going crazy now and he thinks his partner is changing or if something's actually happening. So then when they're like a monster, he's like, oh, he's like, yeah, now we got to eat the heart, bro. Now you got to kill her or kill them and eat it.
Now you gotta eat the poo poo.
But it's like, ahaha, just pretending you died. You died too.
Right.
That's
Okay.
it's very good.
That's very good. No, it is very good.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me just try to pick up some other parts. Sorry, I'm doing like two things at once here. I'm trying to like mess with OBS while streaming so that, things don't.
That's
Okay. I guess is asking about the doctor just going to go like it's unclear from now on, or
I mean, if you want, I don't really have much for him in mind. I guess I like I have I think I want him to be like I want him to been like a representation of of some like evil aspect like of a deadly sin, let's say. But I can't really go through with it, so he's just sort of a mess.
gotcha.
Yeah. There's
Um,
also like the reason like I started doing the stuck thing is at some point I was like, oh, what if I did it so that it's it's unclear if the guy is the doctor himself, like that's just who he is, but I didn't do a very good job about it because I'm
yeah.
not very good.
Yeah,
So I
and it's
wanted to
also
do
sort
it
of
like,
hard to like say, "Ah, it's such a shame, is it not?" with like while you're choking, you know?
yeah, I didn't really go through with it,
Yeah.
so that's why this whole thing is just a mess.
It feels like you got the idea, And then over here like we'll call him the doctor. Right? Just
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
I simply call him the doctor.
Here's the thing. I needed something to like name this guy because I didn't want to put the creature and the being
Yeah,
because I felt like that would have been confusing.
that'd be synonymous, yeah.
Yeah, so I
Call him
was
the
like, okay,
doc.
I need to call this guy. I'll call him the doctor.
The
Doctor
doctor.
Love Baby.
Um okay, and then over here my only and one concern is the creature that's chained and bound to the altar, right?
Yes.
So how did that creature get there?
I don't know, man. Well, like, it's not an actually like I. Again, I should have written this better. In my mind, I don't think that there's actually like a creature. I think it's just like a regular person. It's just a guy sees like
Uh
a
Gotcha.
monster, right? But it's just a regular person, so it's just some dude who overpowered the partner and just chained them up, basically. And then he cuts open their heart, right?
All right,
And then he
so
eats it.
so
So if
this
someone were
part,
watching in, like someone walking, it would just be some random dude like chopping someone up, throwing their lungs on the ground, and then eating their heart. It wouldn't be like black or like rotten or
right.
anything.
So that's the thing, right? Because nowhere in the story does it say that, or does it imply that, like,
Yeah,
ever?
I know.
So it just
I will
seems
write.
like he just killed and choked on some creature's heart with like the
Yes.
doctor on the side going, ha ha ha, too bad,
Yeah, good, Scrub.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
pretty much
fucking
that.
dumbass.
Like I said, I had an idea in mind. I spent 10 minutes doing this, and this is
Mhm.
the result.
Okay, okay. Like, don't worry. I'm not grilling you, Dominic. I'm grilling the story, right?
I know.
Yeah, you're
I,
shitty
I
right
I
now.
know.
I'm joking. Okay, so don't you still put more words on the paper than I did. Um, so at some point, I think we were in love. Someone who I shared all my passions and weaknesses. Someone who probably meant
Yes.
everything to me. So
Yes.
how did they know this so uncertainly?
Oh well, I wanted to show that like the narrator is kind of like crazy, is going kind of crazy, and he's
So
like
someone sorry, go ahead.
like the narrator's just trying to like not focus on the emotion. Like he's disgusted at this creature. Is like, oh, at some point we probably had something, but now I see what they are. They're fucking gross. They're like this weird three-headed snake monster.
So are you saying like I don't know, so in my head it's like the narrator sees this gross three-headed snake monster and be like, you know, a pass up would have tapped that, you know, and then like a pass up would have lived forever with that one. But then like what changed? You know,
Yeah,
why wouldn't you do it now?
yeah. That's why I wanted to say like the I wanted to like I that's why I said later they were like, oh, they were a regular person, or they were something else, and they started to look like this weird demon thing, right? So it's the fact that they
Was it
saw them as the
cocaine?
demon. What?
Was it cocaine?
Was it cocaine? Yeah, it was cocaine, Gavin.
Was cocaine?
The story is actually an in-depth discussion about the opioid wars.
Uh, gotcha.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, for some reason my Discord isn't picking up on OBS, so
Cool.
yeah, so I'll do this instead. Um, okay, so we have um we have that, I suppose, thing.
Yeah, we had that. That was something. That
That was
was something.
something.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you
let me
like it, Vid? If you're watching this or listening to this next time, tell me if you liked it. If you didn't like it, don't tell me.
it felt like there was a lot of telling.
Yeah, no, this whole thing was a mess.
That's okay, 10 minutes, whatever.
Yeah,
So I stabbed the butcher knife into the creature's body. It is trashing, you mean thrashing.
trashing.
Yeah,
They like
thrashing.
trashing.
You said trashing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of
Yeah.
grammatical mistakes.
Thrashing and screeching, but I am not done this operation. I slash the knife once more, so you stab it, but then you slash it once more. Okay,
Yeah, because
breaking,
he cut the rib cages and then he
but
did it again. I
it's
guess.
not actually like slashing. It's you stab it once more.
Stab. Okay, whatever.
Okay. I slash the knife once more, breaking the rib cage. I'm just nitpicking here. I plunge my hands into their chest, ripping apart their lungs. So where did he
Yes.
put the knife? Also, how
You
do you
know?
stab with a butcher knife?
Yeah, I guess he would just be like chopping. It
Yeah.
would be more accurate. You'll be chopping. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just whoosh. Yeah.
I like to think like he did it with such force that he stabbed the butcher knife and then just like slashed like this, maybe.
Mhm.
Ripping apart their lungs and throwing them to the floor. I need to reach my prize. I take the knife and begin to cut the web of lies that surrounded my prize. So,
Yes,
are
sir.
you saying? So here you're
It's the
using
vein.
a metaphor.
Yes, I was trying to be cute.
Yep, but like, are you saying like the rib cage is the webbing, or is it like all the
It's
muscles
the
that are the
veins,
webbing,
like the veins and stuff.
the veins?
Yeah, and like the muscles. Yeah, everything surrounding the heart. Yeah.
It's not a lot. I mean, sure, there's quite a couple veins, but like, I don't think there's that many veins.
Yeah, it's still a decent amount.
Yeah, but it's like superior vena cava, but it's more of the artery, right? It's the aorta that you really gotta get rid of.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the big one.
You pluck that out, just everything.
Yes, sir.
Then again, at that point, just like you're pretty much dead. How do you think? How do you think
Pretty
the
sure.
creature died? Was it
I'm
through
pretty sure
like
they died
astral?
when the lungs got ripped out, Kevin. If I'm being honest,
But was it through like suffocation or was it through blood loss?
probably blood loss. They got their shit chopped out and they got their lungs removed.
Yeah, but
Maybe
it's
so.
like
Wait, if you got your lungs removed, hold on.
It'd be suffocation, right? Like, end of the
Yes.
day, there's not enough oxygen to the brain.
Damn, bro. I could have got more in depth about them like choking. I could have done that. Could have been a whole thing.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. You
Whatever.
could have went like he accidentally hit the esophagus, which caused the creature to spit out some blood. And then he goes like, "Wow, I didn't know this creature had the anatomy of a human being with an esophagus, a
Yeah.
trachea, a bronchioles, and also a phylum." You know,
I could have gone more with it.
after
Yeah, you're
ripping
right.
out the lungs, I counted all the millions of alveoli.
Yes, sir. Wow. Each individual one.
Each individual one. Did you know that the alveoli, when expanded, could cover up 10 tennis courts?
I
Just
did know
add that
that.
as a line inside here.
Did you know that the small intestine could is long enough that it can wrap the world 7 times?
Yeah. Did you know
I
that
think
the
that's.
world I live in is very small?
I'm pretty sure that's like was it one of. Let me look it up. Small intestine. Like I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that was like one of the things I learned in like elementary school.
Yeah,
It's like
it's like you could wrap the world once or something if you do like 7 people or something. I don't know. It's not 7 people. There's no way. There's no way it's that long, right?
I don't remember.
Anyways, so such a shame, such what a shame, a true shame, such toxic, toxic love. But
Yes,
I know
sir.
what to do. I consume my prize. Okay. Yeah. How would you rate how would you rate your own work?
How would I rate my own story? Well, obviously, I spent not enough time. Many ideas were undeveloped or undeveloped. Nothing is clear. So I'll give this a 10 out of 10 if I'm being honest. Perfect story. No flaws.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Sure. Let's go with that. Why not? 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Okay.
Thanks.
Um,
Thanks.
sure. So you want to know about my story?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I have a world, right? But I don't have a story. So let's just say John, right? What's his last name? Dominic. Jeremic? What a great
Mhm.
idea. John Jeremic, okay?
Mhm. John Jeremiah.
Jar Maria, yeah.
John
Um
Jeremiah.
Jar Maria, yeah. John Jeremiah woke up one day and it was the same as any other day. Same shit, different day. He punched the clock on his shitty little bedside drawer that was more of a cardboard box than a drawer. And 6 a.m. he gets up and goes to brush his teeth. He realized that he's out of toothpaste, but he really can't care anymore because he literally didn't have the resources to care anymore. John Jeremy gets dressed without taking a shower, of course, and gets out and has to go walk to work. His walk to work was about 1.5 miles, but it's not that didn't. It's he didn't have the want to actually get transportation anymore. This took him about 1.5 hours, and he got to work half an hour early, ready for the 8 a.m. shift. John works at a want factory where they give John all the wants, and he is supposed to farm the wants into joy, and of course, deposit the joy into the proper joy receiving receptacles. Um, so, how this works is proposals for wants that have been bought and shipped and sold from various sources come into the factory, and he takes these wants and tries to perform them throughout the day within the factory. Now, the factory has a lot of different things. It has everything that you can actually enjoy. Say, like a tan on the beach, they have a tanning booth. They have pretty much all vacation spots. However, the joy that you receive from getting all these wants, you can never keep because after you do a contract for a want, you have to deposit at least 90% of the joy that you received into wherever it was. Now, of course, a lot of people, the people that are good, at this job, they would always try to go for at least 95% of joy received. So they could at least keep some of the joy for themselves, at least 5% of the joy that they farm from themselves. John, however, is not that great. John's been falling on hard times and he is very inefficient in farming his wants. He's been coming up short. And when you come up short of your joy farm, what happens is they actually take off that percent from your 90%. So John has been going for around 85%, 87%. But this little chip damage every time he farms a joy con or farms a want contract, farms something, that gets taken away from his end of the day pay. His end of the day pay is, of course, 1,000 joy units. Now, I'm not too sure exactly this joy how the economy works. However, 1,000 joy units is enough to enjoy your dinner, a good TV show, and also a good night's sleep. Like a good night's sleep, right? So, of course, it seemed like John was just living day to day at this point, where he's making just enough to enjoy his evening. But with this 3 to 5% deficit from all the joys he's been getting around 300 joy units per day. Now, of course, you could bank other units that you have. There's sadness units, there's anger units, but John had to pay his dues with other stuff, and John unfortunately has no savings with other lesser units, right? He had to essentially pay for his mother's surgery, which costed a lot of joy units, but he managed to actually make a deal with the doctor so that he could pay it through sadness and anger units instead of joy units. But that took out most of his anger and sadness units so much that he could barely spend any on himself anymore. That's why he wakes up every day feeling like a zombie. Wakes up every day seeing that it's all the same thing, but he doesn't want change anymore because he doesn't have the sadness or anger to actually go out and make the change. So, of course, John, after receiving his 800 joy units at the end of the day because he lost so many again, he goes home, has a bland dinner, doesn't even bother to watch TV, and just goes straight to bed to spend the remaining 600 joy units, banking, of course, 200 for the rent, on the sleep, where he wakes up tomorrow and does the same thing over and over and over again. How's that?
Okay. It reminded me of like some stuff, but I don't remember what. Like there's a couple stories of like a similar concept, which I'm blanking on right now.
Yeah.
But doesn't the guy like have? So I must have not paid attention. Like the guy still has joy, right? Like why? Like I get that he doesn't have like the other stuff, like the other emotions, right? But he still has the joy. So shouldn't he be like feeling slightly content with his situation?
So he can only get a good night's sleep. That's pretty much it.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Um, I should have took notes.
Oh, so pretty much how I was thinking about this
Mm-hmm.
is I was in the shower and I realized, oh shit, I gotta come up with a story, right? And um, I was like, what if we use time as currency? And I'm like, wait, no, that doesn't make
Classic.
sense, Because they already did a friggin' movie about that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then, okay, fine, not time as currency. What about water as currency? Nope, they did a movie as that as well. Air as currency? Nope, they did that as well. And I was like, okay, what about emotions as currency?
Emotion.
Emotion. But not every emotion's a good emotion, right? So
Mm-hmm.
then you would have like the three emotions, the happiness, sadness, and joy, right?
Yeah.
And then of course you'd have something called wants. Now, want is how you farm emotions. That's how you get joy. If you complete your wants, then you get joy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, like, not everyone has all the want in the world, right? Like sometimes you're just sedated, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes you're just happy the way things are. So
Yes, sir.
like there's not a lot of want, but then like this steady complacency, are you actually happy or are you actually sad? You know what I mean? You don't really feel anything after you've been happy for so long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then that was the thing. I was like, we could make a world where like the rich people, they have all the emotions. You know, they just have like sadness banked, they have joy out the wazoo, they own all the joy farms, right? Where the lower class workers, they wouldn't have any joy, but then they wouldn't have anger or sadness, right? And they've sold all their wants, so they sold all their things that they want to get some more happiness, although at like a lower rate, right? So they don't actually complete the contracts for themselves, but they sell it for other stuff, right? So say like
Yeah.
I need something to live. I'm going to sell like I really wanted a Porsche or something, right? So you have
Mm-hmm.
this feeling, you sell that feeling, and then you get like a bottle of water or something, you know. Of
Yeah.
course, the rich people, they have all these want contracts, right? They just put it into the want factory or joy factories, and the guys inside the factories perform the tasks that the want contracts want, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, then they deposit all the joy units to like the factory owner, right? But like you can't completely enjoy something, right? So say like you got like your
Yeah.
new brand new Porsche, right? Sure, you got it. You might feel great, right? But like maybe after 15 minutes or something, or maybe the realization that that's actually not your Porsche, right? Then maybe
Mm-hmm.
all the joy just goes away, right? But it's the people that could really lie to themselves. They could actually take that joy and deposit it before, the realization hits, right? And then of course you take that like 5% on top of the 90% that you're supposed to give, and you sort of like tuck it away somewhere.
Yeah.
That's your bonus for the day for doing a good job. So yeah, that was uh that was what I was thinking.
Nice. Yeah, it's okay. Um.
And also,
Uh,
crime wouldn't happen in like lower class because no one wants anything, right? So like no one wants anything. Crime would only happen in, like the middle class, right? But it'd be like petty theft because
why does want like having to want something equal happiness? Isn't like
no, but it's
couldn't it
fulfilling that want gives you happiness.
still though like what is it in Buddhism? It's like all wants and desires are
Yeah,
bad.
so that's also something I thought about. It's the lower class, they would actually be Buddhists, but then the upper class would be like Christians and stuff, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I was
Fair enough.
thinking that'd be pretty funny. Of course, you have like revolutions or people that want to do revolutions from like the middle class, like lower middle class, because they
Yeah.
still have enough anger and sadness units to go around, but they don't have any joy units or want. So you're like, well, you gotta get all the Buddhist folks together and like kill all the rich people, right?
What a horrifically depressing world you made.
No,
Like because
if
you have
you're
to spend
rich, if you're rich, it's perfect. So
no, because
suicides only
also
happen for rich people.
yeah, but Kevin, you're saying that the only way people can be happy is by spending money on something, right? Like getting a good night's
Spending
sleep
joy
isn't
units on
dependent
something.
on you
Yep.
sleeping. It's dependent on you spending the joy units.
Yep.
What like how horribly depressing is that? Jesus Christ.
It's not depressing. You could sell your sadness units so you'd never be. And there is also something called joy overdose, right? So if you have too much happiness, right, then you'll never feel happiness ever again, right? Because like if you have too much happiness without having enough sadness or anger, or not even anger, but sadness, right? If you overdose on happiness, that's it. You're next time you're sad, you're just killing yourself. Yeah. Isn't that cool?
That's so cool. What
That's
is like
why.
every like here's the thing, right? I think you mentioned it earlier. Like you could buy something, but you're gonna have to spend money to it to determine whether or not you feel joy. Oh, that could be a hack. You just keep spending joy points to be like okay with just being. That's I guess that's a way to do it.
Yeah, so say like if you want a bottle of water, right? Well, here's 7 joy points. Give me my bottle of
Yeah.
water, and then now you have your bottle of water. You get your 7 joy points back.
But couldn't you just do it so that like I mean you'll probably die, but you could just only spend the joy to be happy, and then until you die, you don't
Yeah,
spend
yeah,
money on
but
rent or
then,
anything. You just pump it up, and then you're good, and you're dead.
but yeah, but if you keep on spending joy like that, like you still die, you know.
Yeah. So either way, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and like
And
that's what some.
this horrible world you made, which I
It's a
guess is
utopia. Think
a
about it.
little
Like
fair.
if you're ever unhappy, you could just get joy points, and you'll be happy again, right? And if you ever feel like the happiness is dull, spend a little bit of sadness points and then spend some more joy points. That's it.
I get it though. It's the same thing when I think about when I have like a back problem. Like, man, I wish I was a robot so I could just like yank my back a bit and then keep it straight. That'd be nice. It's the same kind of vibe, but
Yeah,
it's still horribly depressing when it's like, yeah, the only way you can feel anything is by spending money,
yeah. I
essentially.
I think it's pretty funny, you know? It's pretty funny. Like think about it. Like so I also thought about you would actually um have like state mandated anger units. That's not state mandated, but standard issue anger units for the military. Okay? So in order to go into battle, you need to at least take like 500 anger units.
Nice.
And based on how many people you've killed and for PTSD and stuff, right? They just confiscate all your sad units and only give you happy units,
Okay.
right? And of course,
Yeah.
you could have like the free guys, right? It'd be like Brave New World, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you can have people that live outside of the system where they don't have any idea what a want contract is. They have no idea how to spend joy units and stuff like that, right? And when
Mhm.
like people go like, "Wow, those guys are weird," how they know what they feel like, how they internalize everything, you know, like guys walking around with like 7,000 joy units, they're having a great time, If they ever feel down, pop some joy units, and you know exactly how you feel. But like the people that live outside the system, you don't know how you feel, do you? Right? You don't know if the next moment you're going to be sad, you're going to be angry, and if something happens, how can you control how you feel, right? Because brave
Why
people, we
would
could do it.
why would people outside the system? Unless I guess if they're outside the system, then means that they don't have to deal. Wouldn't they just be normal people?
Yeah,
Wouldn't
exactly.
they
Yeah.
just be like when looking into this world is things like, oh, they're just a bunch of druggies over there?
No, because it's a whole economic system, right?
Okay, yeah, but this is dependent, right? If someone's outside the system, okay, well, why would they give a shit about these joy units or whatever the fuck?
They wouldn't. They wouldn't.
If they never experienced them themselves, wouldn't they just be a normal person?
Yeah. Yeah, they are normal people. That's what the remember the Savage in Brave New World? Remember that
Hmm.
guy? The Savage in the Brave New World? The guy who killed himself at the end? Did you read Brave New World or Dom? Dom, you okay, man? Did you die? Oh, he deafened. So yeah, Vin, what did you think about this whole world I just made? Dom thinks it's horribly depressing, but I'll be honest with you, man. I actually thought about this world like 2 nights ago. Well, technically last night at like 3 a.m. in the morning when I was horribly depressed. And I'm like, wouldn't it be easy if I could just like take this sadness and just like give it to someone else, right? And I'm like, what if we made currency like that? Where here, you can have all my sadness if you want, because someone else wants to be sad, right? So it's like you don't want, or okay, what was the thing? It's like you could forget about someone, right? But you still want to remember them, but forgetting about them, you know that it'll just make you feel better. But it's like you want to have this sort of emotional pain, right? So I'm like, okay, why the fuck would I want this? And also, if I want this, would this be a commodity, right? Does someone ever want to be sad, on purpose? And if someone does want to be sad on purpose, how can we commercialize that, right? So I was like, well, easiest way to commercialize it if we just have sad points, where the world was run on emotional points.
All right.
Hello, Dominic.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No worries. Was that your mom?
Yes, sir.
Oh, get her on the show.
It's okay.
So I'm good. Uh, yeah. So what else was there? So yeah. So angeriness for the military, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sad. What if there was sadness overdose? Like if you like spike someone with so much sadness that they kill themselves,
Well, weren't you saying like a happiness overdose that they don't feel happy anymore? When it's sadness overdose, they don't feel sad.
No, sadness overdose is it's essentially the difference, right? So happiness makes you happier, but once you get to like a certain level, you could only get happier and happier, and then it's sort of like heroin where you don't feel as much happiness anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sadness overdose is if you just take a shit ton, like it's an actual overdose, right? So like you basically take too much sadness and then you get utterly depressed and you end your life, where happiness overdose is you're on so much you're on so much happiness that if you take even a little bit of sadness, you just drop so fucking low that you just feel super sad compared to where you were before, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So say imagine like one guy is falling into the Grand Canyon and one guy's falling off of Everest, right? They're still falling the
Mm-hmm.
same distance. It's just their starting point's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's the difference that kills you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions about this world?
Um. How I guess there's like a everything is like every emotion is a currency, I guess.
No, it's just
There's a bunch
these
of like horny
three.
emotions, you know.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
how specific are they? Is it just like general happiness, or is it like
It's like general happiness, general sadness, but like you can mix emotions, right? Where like you can have like a little bit of anger, a little bit of happiness, a little bit of sadness, and you mix those together, and then you have another one, right?
can I is there the emotion of like I'm very disgusted by this thing, but I like it?
Anger and happiness, I guess.
Okay, so it's more so just a mix and match. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's a very depressing world.
It's not depressing. It's not
It's
depressing.
pretty depressing, bro.
It's not
Everything
depressing.
you literally need to spend money on literally everything in life, and that is so sad. And not
What's
inaccurate.
the difference?
Not inaccurate.
Yeah, so like I mean, the only other thing that's different is the want, right? Like want contracts. That's what I
Well,
think.
you don't have to spend money to necessarily be happy in life, Kevin. At some point.
No, but it's not like yeah, so like there's be these wants where like I wish or I want to live like with a wife and kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. Yeah, I want to have my own child. And of course, you could pretend and lie to yourself that you have your own child, right? And that's what the want factor is there for, right? It's there so you can lie to yourself that you have whatever you have. But at the end of the day, all the joy that you got from there, it's essentially making yourself promises that don't actually work. No, I think that's actually pretty accurate compared to how a real factory works, right? Like you're
Hmm.
there, you're going through hell, right? Just for like a paycheck at the end of the day to,
Yes, sir.
you know, hopefully make you feel a little bit better about coming in next time, you know.
Oh, absolutely not.
No, but it's like that they're selling you on dreams, you know what I mean?
I know, I know,
Yeah.
and it's quite literally you can see the time you're wasting through and the amount of money you're getting. Like, bruh, what am I doing?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
I
Like
I got it.
you're not going anywhere. That's how they
But
get
like
you.
my point is that like with like Buddhist and stuff, it's just like, oh, without wanting anything, you can experience like general happiness, right? Like you can just be as if you just like go out, touch grass, Kevin. If you go touch grass, bro, and not worry about anything else, right? Like there's some things in life where you're just like vibing outside without anything else, right? But in this world, you have to spend money on that, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm assuming, let's say you bought like a video game system, right? For you to you experience, for you experience happiness in this world you made, you would have to keep spending more additional money. And basically, everything is a microtransaction in this world you made, and that is terrifying and horrible.
I mean, pretty much everything's a microtransaction in the world anyways, right? Like you're
Well,
always
not
it
necessarily.
doesn't it's not always currency that you're giving, right? But it's like I mean, you're an economics major, right? You're always giving something to get something else,
Well,
right? So it's
yeah,
not always it doesn't always have to be money. It could be time, right? It could be
yeah,
like your energy, right?
yeah. But in the world you made, it's quite literally money.
Yeah, it's quite literally money,
it's,
and I just think
it's
that's a funny metaphor and a funny simile, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Or like we cut out the middleman, you know? Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought.
but it's like it's with everything, right? Like if I bought like right, I bought all 11 volumes of Chainsaw Man, right? In the real world, I would just waste my time rereading it, right? Whatever.
Hmm.
In your world, if I want to experience, I guess it actually, you know what? A
It's
good thing
because
would be
of your want, right?
you could relive those emotions again, right? Like let's say something was really good, you just keep pumping it up unless you get like a tolerance to the same moment or whatever.
Yeah. No, it gets sort of weird with commodities, right? Because like commodities do give you something, but then you have to want the commodities in order to, take something from
Yes.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if you sell your want for joy, right?
Hmm.
Where like you can't afford these commodities to get it's like you don't have enough joy to reach the next level to get more joy from that, right?
Yeah, you have it, but it does nothing for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. It's like an
Mood.
unopened loot box, you know? Like
Mood.
I'm not gonna pay $3 to open it and maybe get more, you know? I'm just gonna sell this loot box for like 50 cents.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty accurate to the real world, but also very very you know, the real world's also very depressing.
I just think like I could totally make like anecdotes about this, right? Where you have it through like views of different classes and stuff, right? Or the middle
Hmm.
class would be like rather balanced, right? Where it's like, oh no, I might run out of like anger, so I can't like discipline my child or something, or oh no, I have too much sadness, but then I have to somehow transfer the sadness into like happiness points, but no one's actually buying sadness points right now, because the markets are closed. Um, and then the rich would just be like, well, I got like a son that's just like doped up on joy right now. We don't know what to do with him. We're just sinking joy into him, hoping that he doesn't die. I think that's pretty funny. Don't you?
That's okay.
It's sort of like like the rich kid cocaine addict sort of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was like I know this is wrong. I know like I don't know how to help my kid, but I got money, so I'm just gonna, keep on feeding him cocaine and hopefully sometime it gets better sort of thing. Except this time it's literally joy. Right? I'm just gonna keep on feeding him joy and hopefully it gets better.
Okay, I think I'm confused again. So there's a want factory, right? Where
Yep.
you build on your wants.
Hmm.
Why? can people just make their own wants and fulfill them their own way? Do they have to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
through the factory?
Yeah, so the want factory, it's you basically buy wants. So what corporations do is they buy want contracts from people and they give them
Uh
like
huh.
a little bit of joy, but then they send the
Sure.
wants to the want factory where they provide all the commodities, right?
Okay. And you're saying that um you need wants to get joy. So why, if people want something, won't they always have joy in this world? What's the, why do they have to go work their shitty job when they can make their own joy? If I understand correctly.
Okay, so everyone intrinsically wants something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're born and you have this many want contracts, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
you only have this many want contracts to start with, but throughout time you might get things you want, you might not get things you want. But like
Mm-hmm.
if you're in this like stale process, you'll never actually develop things that you actually want.
But
So
what
if
if you
you're
just but what happens if you just want the joy? You'll always want joy. So won't you always have joy?
you always want joy.
Right? Because your joy is the money, Kevin. Right? People want
Yeah,
money,
yeah.
really. So won't you always want joy? And if you're stuck in a city situation, right?
Mm.
You're like, bro, I want the joy so I can pay off all the shit and get the good stuff. So isn't that like a big want that probably many people in this world would have? So why would they ever run out of joy?
That's a paradox, right? Yeah. So the government's just gonna outlaw that. Yeah.
So that specific contract is banned.
Yeah, so that contract is illegal. Yeah. And you have like
It's not a
illegal
plot
underground
hole.
rings that farm that if you want, you know.
There's no loophole. We banned it. You see?
I mean, that's what they did in freaking like Brave New World, wasn't it? Where they banned like literature. Or like, oh, you can't have sadness.
Yeah.
No, screw that.
Yeah, that's fucking funny. That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we'll
then
just
like
banned it.
you have like underground gangs that do these sort of things, you know. And of course, the government breaks them down, you know. I think that works, right?
Okay, it is an explanation, I guess.
It's a system. Keeps order, you know. No more
Yeah.
lower class like gang wars and stuff because there's no affiliation.
What if they just want to like break out of their situation? Then won't that always be the case too? They're like, bro, I like it's not even.
Yeah, but
I guess
then
anything like wanting to improve is banned. I guess.
no, but like if you want to break out of your situation, what's stopping you from essentially selling that want for some joy, right?
But my point is, you always, if it's not enough joy, you can just keep wanting more things until you're out of it.
Oh, I see. So if you just keep on wanting stuff, right? Or you just
Mm-hmm.
endlessly produce want contracts.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's make it this way, right? So pretty much the more want contracts you have that's unfulfilled, the more sadness you get,
Okay, but
right?
isn't sadness preferred to being like a numb zombie?
Sorry?
Wouldn't sadness be preferred to being a numb zombie, according to your world?
Yeah, yeah. So then of course if you have like a shit ton of sadness points, right? You can't
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure you could sell them, I guess, but like I guess it's not no one's daring to buy it, but like how do you get sadder and sadder and sadder and sadder every day? You know,
You
like
know,
how sad can
I
you
find
get?
a way. I find a way, bro. I find a
No,
way.
no, but like honestly, like what is the saddest someone could be, right? Without being angry, without being anything else, but sadness. How
Yeah,
low can you go with sadness? And I don't want
you
to
can go
hear like
pretty
the
low.
edgy, "Hey, look at me, I'm Dominic, I'm sad all the
You,
time" sort of thing. But
you can
like,
go pretty low, Kev. You can go pretty low.
yeah, yeah, but like, what would that be? You know? Just imagine
No,
like
no.
holding all of these want
It would be
contracts.
similar. It would probably be similar to in this case of the zombie, bro. It would be similar in that.
So how about we make it so that if you have a certain level of sadness, you can't have any more want contracts. And then after that, after you get like maybe 100,000, like 10 million, let's just say, sad units, right? All the want contracts you have, everything you had is just going to be confiscated. It's essentially declaring bankruptcy, right?
Hmm.
Right? I maybe.
I'm just thinking of other.
Or like maybe you have to spend your sad units within like a given amount of time, right?
But can't Saturn units be spent as currency in this world?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
But like you have
Can't
to
you use Saturn units to pay for rent?
know because it depends on what
No.
you're buying, right?
Okay. So is joy like the dollar? I guess
Yeah,
is the
joy is
main
like
dollar.
the gold standard.
Is a gold standard. Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
sadness could be like pesos or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you have like the gold standard, right?
Yeah, but if
Like
that's the case, sorry, I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish.
so like yeah, not everywhere is gonna accept sad tokens.
Fair. But couldn't you get by in a way by like finding a place that does accept sad units? Like there's probably gonna be
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. So like that's what I was saying before when John had to pay for his mother's surgery or whatever. He made a
Mhm.
deal with the doctor that he could use some of his anger and sad units to actually pay for it, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like
Right.
like no one's ever gonna sell you stuff like I mean stuff that could actually get you joy with sad units, right?
Hmm.
Like maybe the exception would be like, hey, this is like a funeral parlor or something. We accept sad units here or something.
Hmm.
So things that are meant to be sad, you can buy with sad units, but things that aren't meant to be sad, you can't. Right?
I guess.
And of course, like
Um.
if you know a guy that knows a guy that could accept some sad units, sure, whatever. But like you're never going to be able to like steadily convert sad units into joy units.
You can't. Okay, you can't convert them.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said that wanting something, like just to wanting to improve, will give you sad units, right? That's what happens.
No, holding on to want contracts. So I guess it depends on how big the contract is, right? So if you have like a super big contract where it's like I want to revolutionize the world, then
Yeah.
that's going to give you a lot of sad units the more you hold on to it. You know what I mean? Like say the payout for this want contract is like 2 million joy units, right? But every day you hold on to this, it gives you 1,000 sad units.
I think we just went over this, but again, if some people can make unlimited wants, why can't they just sell them to the want factories then? And then they could just use that to make more money.
Oh, it's because they don't buy every single want, right?
Okay. Okay.
Like
Okay.
if you sell the want of I want to revolutionize something, right?
Mhm.
You're that's it. You're you're never getting rid of that. No one's ever gonna buy that, right?
True.
Because that's
Yeah,
too
but
big of a contract to fill. So I guess like it's really you're down your shitter if you like wake up one day and go like I want communism to be the regime now, and then all of a sudden you have this huge ass want contract that you can't get rid of, right?
yeah, but I'm talking about like a shit ton of very small want ones. Like, hey, I want to get a little. You can't have joyous, right? You ban
Okay,
joyous.
yeah, but
Hey,
it's
I want
easier.
to be able to pay my rent. You know, I
Okay,
want to
so
be able to afford a nicer fruit instead of a name brand.
It's
Or
more
not neighbor,
worthwhile
instead of
to actually complete the want contracts for the smaller ones than it is to sell them. So like you could sell them, say the want contract, if you complete it, right? It gives you 20 joy, right? If you sell it, they might pay you 5 for it, right? But it might cost 10 to actually fulfill. You know what I mean? So you might as well just fulfill your own want contract to get a little bit more joy on the side.
uh,
Does that make sense?
my brain overheated. I can't
Okay.
think about this.
So it's essentially like, say you have this want contract, right? So say I want a bottle of water, right?
Yes.
If I get a bottle of water, I'll get 15 joy units.
Okay.
Okay. It costs 10 joy units to buy a bottle of water.
Yes.
So my net is 5 if I complete the contract.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Or I can sell the contract for 3.
Okay.
So would you rather complete the contract or not complete the contract?
Okay. So I'm assuming this would also have to be like a super authoritarian system, because people can just start robbing other people, right? If I want the fruit, I'm not gonna spend money on the fruit. I'm gonna steal it.
Yeah, so like middle class. Yeah.
So no, it's more like I want this thing. This thing will give me joy. I'm low on joy. I'm gonna rob the grocery store, get a bunch of joy.
No,
I'm
but
chilling.
like with the lower class, they just sell all their wants. Because
Yeah, but I'm
it's easier to actually sell your want and get like lower payback than it is to go rob a fucking store. You know what I mean? It's like you have such low want contracts that you're gonna have to rob a lot of places in order to get like what you have back, right?
okay. Sure,
But
sure.
then, or
Whatever.
you could like the risk isn't worth the reward. You know what I mean?
I guess.
So like you could either sell the want contract and get 3, or you could go rob a store and get 15. Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
okay with the 3. You know, is robbing a store worth 12 units for me?
I
Probably
mean, it
not.
might be. It might be, depending on how
Like
bad it is.
under what circumstance though?
Like a similar circumstance to the guy you described, whose life is fucking miserable. He's a fucking zombie. Why shouldn't he just go start robbing people for their stuff so that his wants go up?
Because he has no
You know, he
motivation to
gets
do
more
that.
joy. What's that?
He has no motivation to do that. He has no want. Like he has no
Oh,
anger.
motivation. Also, oh yeah.
He has no anger. He has no sadness. He's just
Well,
neutral. Like he wakes up every day and walks a mile and a half, like an hour and a half, just to get to work. Like he doesn't care.
yeah. So if someone doesn't give a shit, why wouldn't they just start taking from others? It doesn't have to be anger or spite. It could just be I want this thing. There's the basics, just the basic human emotion of like I want that thing.
But then you
So I
wouldn't have
get
the
that.
want in the first place, would you?
Then why does he go to the wand factory?
To get joy.
So he still wants joy.
Yeah, exactly. Except that's, remember, that's illegal. You can't want joy.
So then why is he going to the factory? Since wanting joy is illegal, why is he going to the factory if this guy does not give a shit?
To get joy.
Okay, that does. But wanting joy is illegal. Why is he going to the factory?
Yeah, wanting joy is illegal, so you can't act out on it, but you could still get joy, right? You get joy so
Okay,
you can pay your rent and stuff.
okay. So if he can still get joy, why doesn't he just start robbing people? Why doesn't he start committing big crimes? What's
Because I
stopping him?
guess what's stopping him?
Nothing is stopping this guy. He has nothing to lose. He only has to gain joy. That's it.
Well, okay. Well, other than the fact that the police is gonna catch him and then put him away.
So it would be like a big authoritarian state, and that would
Well, I
stop
mean,
them.
like that's the same parallel as say like you're working minimum wage. Let's just say, right?
Hmm.
Like you have nothing to lose. Why don't you just go rob someone? Well, no, you know. Like okay,
I would
morals
probably
aside,
have,
morals
but Kevin,
aside.
if every single aspect of my life is a microtransaction, more people would probably start robbing others and doing bigger crimes because every single thing is a physical currency. There would be more crime and more reasons to start being a piece of shit and taking from others. You have more of an incentive to do it.
But then you also get punished for that.
Yeah, but if it's so bad and things are so bad that it's like, who cares?
But they're not so bad. Essentially, what this does is it dulls the lower class so much, right?
um,
Where they're
bro.
essentially it's essentially like this monotonous or drone. That's what the lower class is, right? It's like the monotonous drone in the lower class, monotonous drone except in the higher part in the upper class, and then the middle class is where all the weird stuff happens.
Okay,
You know, that's what I was
sure.
thinking at least. But yeah, I
Uh,
get what you mean. That there is a huge loophole there.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Well, I get what your story's trying to say, but it's also when things are bad and real bad, people will just start fucking looting and robbing others and taking
yeah.
advantage.
So like rioting, pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
But that requires organization.
Or just it doesn't have to be like a. It could just be one guy just fucking.
That
If
requires
people are
anger.
very desperate and they're very cornered
How about we make
and
it so
they
that anger you can't exceed like a certain amount of anger units, otherwise it gets confiscated.
but it's not anger, it's just like a human basic desire to want something. And if you don't have sadness to stop you, or I guess anger would be like you have to spend anger to if you have to spend anger to do something, that's kind of fucked up. If I'm being honest, Kevin, that like motivation is anger, that's kind of fucked up, but let's say it is, then then yeah, fair enough.
I mean, like,
Right, if you have to spend
don't you
anger to
use anger to
actually
do
do
stuff?
something. What's that?
Don't you use anger to do stuff?
Yeah, but I don't use it to do literally every aspect of my life.
No, no, definitely not. But like to start a riot, yeah, you probably use anger. You know.
Not unless, well, it doesn't have to be anger. It could just be like in the wild, Kevin. I don't think like a lion is like, I'm pissed off at that deer. It's, I'm hungry, bro. That's food. Give me that. I want that. Right? That's just like a basic animalistic emotion. It's not
Yeah,
anger. It's not
so we
sadness.
have to iron out how want contracts come to be, right? Because I
I
think that's where the loophole is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How about we make it so that like only want contracts of like a certain degree could actually be processed. So if any want contract that comes into being that's over like a certain threshold of your joint income, it just gets instantly confiscated, right?
Okay, so yeah, this is okay.
Yeah, that's pretty authoritarian. Yeah, it's
Yes,
pretty
sir. It would be
dystopian, but it's
yes.
pretty funny.
It'd be pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
All right.
Wouldn't you say? You know, it's like the lower class guys like, man, I should kill the president. You know, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. Nah, nah, never mind.
It
No,
would be pretty funny. It
yeah.
would be pretty funny.
And then like if you have keep on having these thoughts of like I want to fucking commit genocide, you know,
Mhm.
and the government starts going like, wait a second, this is like the third time this hour this guy thought about this, right? And then send people to your house, you know.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right. I think that's everything I thought about in your story.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so what are we doing next time?
Next, we could just keep doing more short stories. I don't know. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Does Vin think it's pretty fun?
I
Vin?
don't know,
Wait,
Ben.
well,
If you watch this one. let us know, I guess.
Yeah, let us know what to do. But in case we don't have short stories, what do we want to do? Do you have any ideas?
Um, my mind. I remember last week and how we brought up animal facts, and I'm sticking by it. I didn't bring an animal fact this week though, so next week
Let's
is
talk
the
about the history of Wallachia.
what black
Wallachia. Romania.
black Romania. Okay.
With Vladimir. With Vlad the
Black, yeah,
Impaler. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah? You want to do that?
I don't want to do that, but I'm not gonna
I
stop
think
you.
it's a pretty fun story. It's a pretty fun
I'm
story.
not I'm not gonna stop you if you want to do that.
It's a really fun story. Or we could talk about like Polish culture, you know.
I don't want to do that either.
Why not?
Uh,
Why not, Dominic?
yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Okay, well, we'll talk about the Bruce Willis sex tape.
Is it Bruce Willis sex tape?
No, but we'll talk about it anyways.
Talk about it anyway. Wow.
Yeah, well, until next time.
Till next time.
We'll do an outro next time.
Oh yeah, an outro. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.